Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be short games from WCS Fall 2019, happily screened by my screener Sniper Monkey. Once again, thank you so much, Sniper Monkey, for going through all of the replays of WCS Fall. I don't know how many there were, but it took you a while to complete, so I assume maybe in the hundreds? Maybe I should check that out. Okay, so this is going to be game number 1 of our short games compilation for WCS Fall. It's going to be Time versus Estrella. Here on Acropolis, the ladder edition. Bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Protoss player Estrella. Hailing from the United States, and top left, it is the red Terran player Time. Hailing from China. Now, here's the thing. We saw these guys play a longer macro-style game previously on the channel. If you missed that because you're like, I don't know who Estrella is, dude, go watch it. It was an amazing game. I think I even gave it an epic tag. It was so intense. So go watch that if you didn't. If you're being a snob and you're like, well, Maru and innovation and stats and Seral weren't involved, so blah, blah, blah. Look, man, there's a lot of great StarCraft being played everywhere, at every level, including this one. These two players are very, very excellent. They qualified for WCS Fall. They did a lot of good stuff here. They made it to the second day at the very least and went on from there. So, anyway, I'm being grumpy about this. So, there's going to be short games. Let's see what makes these things short. Because as of the standard openings, nothing looks too crazy. We're not going to do Reaper names, partially because we're running out of Reaper names, and partially because usually there's a lot of stuff happening in these shorter games that indicate something is happening. And we don't really have time for the Reaper name, but as far as this one's concerned, that second gas is coming up for Time. And, oh, somebody made the point, they can't see the cursor on my recordings. You used to could see the cursor. I don't know why it's gone. Can you see when I highlight stuff? Oh, that might be a good thing to check. I wonder if it's the GeForce Experience doing weird stuff. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the GeForce Experience software does crazy things to me, and it sucks. I hate troubleshooting it. It's really annoying. Anyway, Time isn't really following up with anything here. I'm interested by this. Where's your factory, guy? You doing it now? Okay, there's your factory. A little bit later than I thought it should be, but whatever. It's cool. He's a way better player than I am. I'm not going to question him too much. Probe hiding in this smoke. Loving that. And then Reaper coming on in, but there's already Stalker out, so not going to get anything done. Stalker shows up. Reaper says, yee. We're not going in there at all. That seems like the worst idea of all time. Marine production has begun. Couple of those out in case the Stalker moves out across the map. Having some Marines in that situation would be good. What's really good is having a Cyclone, but, you know, it takes a while to get that factory and that tech lab going, which you need for the Cyclone production. Twilight Council here from Estrella. Second gateway coming up. Does this feel like some kind of an adept all-in attack from Estrella? It sort of does, doesn't it? Now, what I like about these is I don't generally cast pro-level short games. I usually search really hard for the longer ones, because those are more interesting, I think, to most of you people, but I do like to just drop in every once in a while and see what's going on in the shorter games in the current meta. Like, what is it? It used to be Adept all-ins were fairly popular in Protoss versus Terran. Blink Stalker all-ins. Totally count 2, man. Off of 2 bases here. Let's see if we get a robotics facility out for that Warp Prism or not. I love how this probe is still hiding inside this smoke. It's beautiful. Is he just... Look. Oh, caught a glimpse of him. How did you see him for a second? That's weird. Did you see that? Did you see how the probe was visible for just a second there? Huh. I don't know why at all. Raven in production. More Stalkers coming on in that blink. You being Chrono Boost, Blink? You certainly are being Chrono Boost here at the Twilight Council. And a third base on the way from Estrella. Okay, so just going Blink Stalkers to defend things. Time, on the other hand, is not going for the very fast third. He's got another barracks up. He's getting a Raven. This really feels like a pretty scary Terran timing attack push. And honestly, these days where Terran feel underpowered versus Protoss, timing attacks are kind of how you deal with that. If you're in a matchup that you feel underpowered in, you want to get the game over sooner rather than later. Which is why we see a lot of Protoss going for 2.5 base timing attacks against Zerg, is because if you let the Zerg get into the late game, bad things happen. If you let Protoss get into the late game in PvT, Terrans believe that bad things happen. So, this kind of stuff where there's really no sign of a third base at all from Time is what we're expecting to find here. Engineering bay on the way. Got to be for upgrades for those Marines. Tank defending. Raven here too. Anti-armor missile would be pretty good here against any kind of a Stalker attack. We don't really see one. I mean, robotics... there we go. Robotics facility done. Another gateway coming in. It's not going to be a Warp Prism, so there's not going to be an aggression here. Estrella is just kind of hanging out, really. Just working on up his way up to 50 probes. to the 42 SCVs of Time. Time is kind of, yeah, he's about done creating SCVs here. He's going to fully saturate this natural base. He needs about 4 more, it looks like, and then he'll be fully saturated. We'll see if he wants to do that or not. That is another barracks, and yeah, I mean, this is pretty defensive from Time as well, but the fact that he's not taking a 3rd base indicates we're going to see some kind of a big attack here. Army supply is 31 to 18 in favor of Time. This probe has not really scouted anything, which I feel is a problem. Observers are on the way for the scout now, but I mean, we're just blind, yeah? We got up here earlier, but I don't know. Observer coming in for the scout now is going to go ahead and recognize there's a lot of stuff here. Those Marines are going to shoot at your face if you go too far. And yeah, it's Marine Marauders. It looks like maybe a stim timing or maybe a +1 attack timing attack here. Really don't want to go in here with 2 tanks and a bunch of Marines. That is like the Stalker nightmare situation. Yeah, right. You take the tank fire. You're like, oh, let's not take another tank shot. How about that? So it doesn't take another tank shot, which is beautiful. And looks like Time is posturing to move out here. He unsieged his tanks. Just kidding. He's resieging his tanks for some reason. Checking to see if the Stalkers are out here or not. Not really. Kind of a little bit adjacent, but not too much otherwise. And Estrella really needs to begin preparing for this. Estrella knows there's not a 3rd base. He's scouted the potential 3rd base locations here. He knows there's not one. He's doing a good job kind of keeping the tabs up here. He is sitting on 63 workers. He's making immortals. He's getting charged. He's getting up shield batteries in the mix here too, which I really like. And if he can hold this attack, he's going to have a pretty good time. Army supply is actually fairly even at this stage. But the stim and the +1 and the concussive shell and the combat shield, the upgrade advantage is huge for Time right now. Well, not right now, but in a minute it will be as these upgrades on the right side finish up. Thank you, Game Heart Interface. Actually, you know what? Because people have complained that the mouse is distracting. I wonder if not seeing the mouse is kind of nice. All right, man, you don't have the problem here, obviously. Oh, nice split on that Immortal. Oh, another one hits, though. That's a big deal. There's no splash damage for the Protoss player. That's what I was going to say. And that is the big problem here. Guardian Shield is up. But by golly, just standing right on in. Why are... Oh, the SCVs came along for the meat shield. That's bad news. Probes coming in for the fight, too. But a lot of Marines remaining, and nothing here is going to stand for Estrella. And these tanks just having a wonderful time. 3 kills, 4 kills, 4 kills on that. I think the Ravens both got picked out of the sky, which is really bad news, Bears. And right now, again, Time is down to 24 workers. So if he can't win with this, and Estrella can hold on, Time's just going to tap out. So let's see, tank down. Immortal trying to kill that tank too, and is going to get it. But there's still 2 tanks remaining and a bunch of Marines, and that's the GG. Time gets the win in game number 1. Just a regular old 2 base +1 timing attack. Again, with combat shield, concussive shell, and stim. On the other side, +1 armor was good, and charge was good, and so was blink. But what he really needed was some kind of disruptor play or some kind of storm play. Something to deal with these Marines, because these Marines really didn't want to die, did they? How many got killed? 16? And there were 20 remaining. So over half of the Marine count was still alive at the end of the game, which is really nice for Time. 23 Zealots went down. I mean, resources lost are just insane. For a short game, right? 7,500 resources lost for Estrella, 3,900 lost for Time. That is some efficient stuff for sure out of Time, and the timing attack worked. Estrella saw it coming, tried to prepare for it as best as he could, but just couldn't quite get there. Again, lack of storm. The more bio there is, the more storm you need. And he came with a lot. All right, cool. Game 2 coming your way. Don't go anywhere. Back on Acropolis, it's Denver and Seral. 2 Zergs, 1 map. Top left-hand corner, it's the red Zerg player, Denver, hailing from France. He's named after Denver the Last Dinosaur, according to what he said when I asked him while casting an Africa World tournament. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Zerg player, Seral from Finland. You know who he is, right? Seral needs no introduction. He really doesn't. To be the first foreigner to win a BlizzCon event like that in StarCraft 2 is just, it's insane. It's insanely good. He's going to repeat. I mean, he's in a position to repeat again this year. He's looking good. I don't think he's dropped off really at all. I mean, he did, again, lose a best of 7. Did he lose to... Who did he lose to? I'm trying to remember. Was it Raynor? Did Raynor beat him in a best of 7 recently? I think maybe he did. Couple WCS events ago. Anyway, but... Yar! Here we are in ZVZ land. I don't cast a lot of ZVZ, so if you're missing it on my channel, here it is. This is your ZVZ for maybe the rest of the year. I mean, this is just not my favorite thing to do is cast Zerg versus Zerg. It's just, I want to feel like it's the least skilled matchup in all of StarCraft 2. If you win a ZVZ, it's like, oh, you guessed better on your opening, or your opponent lagged out and a Baneling hit 20 of his Zerglings and now he loses. Like, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's fair to say. A PvP, little coin flippy too, and TVT is just a lot of positioning and people hate that, but I feel like if you win a TVT, it's because you're the better player without question. ZVZ, weird stuff can happen. And maybe I'm wrong. Again, let me know in the comments if you have different opinions about ZVZ, because I would love to hear them. So nobody going crazy. It's literally the same darn build order here. Hatcheries, extractors, spawning pools, all popping at literally the same time. 2 sets of Lings, an Overlord, and 2 Queens on the way. Yeah, man. I mean, this is as safe as you are ever going to get in a ZVZ. I guess going pool first is a little bit safer. It's a little bit easier to hold someone else going pool first if you go pool first, but you're not going to die from pool first with this build. It's just really hard to do. You might have to pull some drones to stay alive, but in the end, you'll be ahead, and that's what matters. So both players, I mean, they're even sending their Lings out at the same time. Denver going to try to sneak a quick third here on Seral. Ah, never mind. Seral doing the same thing. He just showed up a little bit better, and his hatchery is a little bit more on time. Yeah, I mean, Denver, the French player, he's a great dude. Really nice, really good at Zerg in general. I like him a lot. But at the same time, it's got to be like, ooh, I'm playing against Seral. Or is it, ooh, I'm playing against Seral? Because you've been playing against Seral for the last 5 or 6 years on the European ladder, right? Like, you know this dude. You've played against him 100 million times. That's got to be weird, right? It's got to be odd to be like, yeah, man, I've been playing against Seral on the ladder. I probably play him 100 times a year. And now he's the best player in the world. How did that happen? It's really mysterious. Actually, no. Basically, Seral just honed his robotic ability to, number 1, be incredibly map aware, and number 2, recognize in a situation that he finds himself in, whether he's going to win that thing or lose that thing, whether he needs to attack or run instantly. All right, you get first-person views of Seral, and what he basically does is scan around the map. He looks to where things are under attack. If he likes the situation, he bails, and if he doesn't like the situation, he bails. If he likes it, he'll go in. Just like snap the fingers. That's what happens. Banelings coming up here from Seral, but defensive Banelings on the way from Denver. I'm telling you, these builds are stupid. Denver making a lot of Lings, though, all of a sudden. A little bit later than Seral did, as army supply is it's big now, but yeah, this is where I hate ZVZ. You got Banelings running around. You're like trying to make good trades. It's really hard to do consistently. I really hate it. Anybody that loves ZVZ, I think is a sociopath. This is generally how that works. So I like the Queens out here too. That makes it so much easier to hold. The Queens are at the front. The Banelings don't want anything to do with it. The Lings don't want anything to do with it either. And yeah, and they can also just shove away single. Careful with his overextend, man. I don't know about this from you. You really want that Overlord, but it feels like bait right now. Okay, so the Overlord is dead, but you didn't spread any creep out. Oh, actually, you did. Maybe pop it? I don't know. All right. Man, nobody's lost a Baneling yet. That's how this control is so good. So stupid good. Oh, by the way, offhand, I just marked that I spoke to Denver and I was casting for Africa World. I do that every couple of weeks. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/FalconPaladin. I'll tweet out information about the next time I'll be casting on Africa. We'll do players like Cure and like Alive and like Impact and like Maru and, I mean, Seral. It's crazy high-level StarCraft. It is by far the highest level StarCraft I ever get to cast live. So if you want to support me in that, I know it's a different platform. I know it's Africa. I know it's Korea. I know you don't love it. But show up, hang out. The more English speakers in chat we have, the better. All right, Baneling's getting on in. And 2 hits. 6 drones going down. On the other side here, no drones go down as Seral holds that effectively perfectly. Some of his drones are bruised up, but none of them are dead. It looks like, the Ling run by into the third base, though. Where's the defense? I don't see anything in here all of a sudden. 14 drones down. Suddenly it's 66 to 43 workers, and that's what I mean. Just one little thing like this, and suddenly you're done. I think Seral's going to tap out. These Lings are just, they're killing Queens. They're killing drones. The control here is really good. He didn't get surrounded by the drones. That's a really good play. On his side here, there was a bit of an attack on the right side. Didn't do much of anything at all. Yeah, I mean, this is just Seral link control, guys. He's like, I'm just here to kill individual drones, maybe ones that are already weakened up, if at all possible. Where are these lings going? Denver, you need them to keep stuff alive, guy. Oh my gosh, 21 drones down. Pushing across Denver, but this is a wall. There are roaches out now? Oh, there are roaches out now. I mean, like, maybe you could surround them, but that's your GG. Denver's out. Seral gets the win here in 6.5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, that just came down to these lings wrecking house, effectively. I don't know where they are. Here they are. Somehow that Zergling has 0 kills, despite his group being responsible for so much stuff. Oh, he's got 5. His buddy's been kill stealing over here. He's got 5 kills. So end of the day, 25 drones killed to 1, 67 to 43 workers. No, really bad. Really, really bad. So end of the day, again, Seral just kind of able to defend impeccably. Not so much here for Denver. His third base is left unguarded. The response time was not great from Denver, if at all, there, unfortunately for him. And it's just got to feel like being run over by a bulldozer, sometimes playing Seral, I think, if you're somebody at Denver's caliber. Even more so if I were to play against Seral. I would just die instantly. The game would load up and it'd be like, we're not wasting anybody's time here. Seral wins. All right, next, we have more stuff coming. We've got all sorts of matchups, all sorts of players, people you can root for. Stick with it. We'll be right back. PvT time here on Disco Bloodbath. Top right. Nope, bottom right. It is the red Protoss player MCaning. And top left-ish, it is the blue Terran player Nice Username. Now, I know Nice Username is the name of a StarCraft 2 memer that posts up on Reddit and has his own YouTube channel, but I'm not entirely sure this is him, because I've never heard of him competing professionally or qualifying for WCS. I don't know. And I Googled, but, you know, Googling Nice Username SC2 just brings up Nice Username, so. Anyway, gateway up here for MCaning. Barracks up for Nice Username. And let's see what we have here. Probe scouting. Here is MCaning, the American Protoss player who is very proud of his nationality. And did pretty darn well in Nation Wars. Hang on a second. How come I haven't heard about Nation Wars recently? It's not over. La la la. Nation Wars, as long as we're just sitting here staring at all the things. I think we played a bunch of games and then there's a break and they're going to do some other stuff. It's like a lot of games for some reason. But here's the list of qualified nations. The U.S. not qualify? Invited nations. Qualified nations. How is the U.S. not in the qualified nations? Group stuff. Okay, so we have semifinals here for Group B. It's the U.S. versus Ukraine. Okay, so there's just stuff that hasn't happened yet. That's all we're looking at. Nothing crazy. All right, so anyway, MCaning still is performing well and could perform better for the U.S. as time goes on. I think we beat Great Britain fairly recently, if I remember. I mean, I cast these a week in advance, so fairly recently is like 3 weeks ago for you now. So yeah, you probably heard about that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. No Reaper opening from Nice Username here because you recognize it. It doesn't, I mean, seriously. We saw from that last game, or the first game we played today, or watched today, nobody played that game here. Probably not anyway, is, yeah, that Reaper shows up, the Stalker's out, and it's like, well, bye. No scouting information shall be acquired today, unfortunately. It's an Adept here from MCaning. And again, the guy loves his Disruptors, so we'll see how this works out for him. If he goes for Disruptors or not. The thing about going Disruptors in a TVP is that Terran is used to splitting. They've been used to splitting against Banelings since way back in Wings of Liberty, since it started. They practice against splitting against Banelings and splitting against Banelings every day. So Disruptors splitting is not that big of a deal. I honestly don't think. Splitting is basically the same thing. Except you just have to worry about one explosion as compared to a bunch of Banelings, unless of course it's MCaning and he has like 6 Novas coming at you at the same time. Very possible that is a robotics facility, because of course it is for MCaning. By the way, MCaning is an extremely entertaining Twitch follow. If you don't follow him on Twitch, you should. I understand most people here don't actually do anything on Twitch because YouTube is the place to be. But seriously, that guy is fantastic. He is so good at playing at a high level and just chatting. If I'm playing StarCraft, I just absolutely clam up. It is so hard for me to play StarCraft and play and chat and cast at the same time. He's not really casting, right? In fairness, he's not casting. But he is just telling you what he's doing, explaining his mindset, getting mad about stuff, just chop, 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 chop. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop. Talk, talk. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here with my explanation as to what he does, but anyway, that's an observer on the way. And more gateways. Robotics Bay, there it is. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Nice username should know what's going on here, right? Scouting around with hallucinated Phoenix, sees a bunch of bio, sees a lot of Widow Mines coming in, actually. Surprising number of Widow Mines. Like, really surprising number of Widow Mines here. Is he still making more? I guess maybe if he was making more than the 4, I'd be super weirded out, but regular old Widow Mine drop then. Never mind. Shouldn't be a problem here. Shouldn't be a problem. He's already got detection. He's got stalkers. He's split up his army between both places, just getting all of his armies in the main base. Interestingly enough, Adept's moving out, trying to see what's what. But really, what's what is this medevac cruising on over down this way. Now, the question is, this is a short game. So does MCaning just mess up on defending this, lose like 20 probes, and then tap out? That would be interesting. But again, he defends against this all the time. This is a very, very standard Terran opening. You get the 4 Widow Mines, you get the medevac, you cruise on over. Now look, the observer sees it, so the stalkers can now basically be wherever the medevac is. And you know what? Nice username pulling out a little bit, strangely enough. Where are you going, guy? Guy, come back. You need to actually drop your Widow Mines in the mineral lines for this to make any sense, dude. Whoa! Colossus and extended thermal lance. MCaning defying expectations. Okay, well now he's going to come on in, but again, the stalkers are here, and okay, decent hit there. Decent hit there, not a crazy hit. That was a better hit. So the Widow Mine's doing fairly well. I'll give them a fairly well rating there. What actually died? 2 Adepts and a Sentry and a Probe. It's alright. Did scout the Robotics Bay, and at this point, if you're a nice username, you're like, okay, Disruptors. Preparing for Disruptors, but it's a different thing to prepare for Disruptors as preparing for Colossus with an extended thermal lance. So we'll see if nice username is ready for this or not. I love the hallucinated Phoenix consistently scouting here. Nice username going for a 3rd base, whereas MCaning does not seem wholly interested in going for a 3rd. At least not right now. Liberator shows up, but again, really shouldn't be able to accomplish a whole lot here. Killed a probe, maybe 2 probes. Once again, not that big of a deal. So 3rd base is scouted by the Adept, recognizes, okay, MCaning has a window here to get some stuff done. Ooh. Also, medevac down. Is there a drop over here? I mean, it sure looks like there was one, doesn't it? So that's your Liberator. That's your... It's just the medevac was just empty. It was just sitting here doing nothing. Why? Maybe it was a fake out? It's like, hey... Check it out, I'm coming back in. I have medevacs to drop. Check me out. But then the Liberator comes in over here. Okay, so it was a fake drop attempt. It didn't do anything because it was just a feint. The Liberator, however, is very much more real. What I was trying to say earlier was MCaning is on a bit of a clock here. He wants to go ahead and kill nice username now, or at least shut down his 3rd base. Because if he lets the Terran player get onto 3 bases, medevac gets picked out there. And he's on 2. It's going to be a bad thing for him. So yeah, Liberator is up here somewhere. I don't know why it hasn't moved in yet. There's really not much to defend against it here in the main base at all. In fact, there are no cannons. There are no stalkers. There is no nothing. What was that died? Cyclone? Oh, Liberator. What else would it be at this stage of the game? Fair enough. He just barely catches a glimpse of that, and... yeah, there we go. All right, so that Liberator's dead. Maybe that'll jumpstart this Liberator into doing something. That'd be nice. 3rd base on the way from MCaning. And, boy, howdy. Here we go. 3rd base in a lot of trouble. There are a lot of Marines here, which you don't want a lot of Marines when you're facing 2 Colossus with extended thermal lance. You really don't. And they're going to try to pick out these Colossus, but the blah, 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 blah scenes everybody dies. And that's it. Nice username with the GG. Didn't expect Colossus, caught him entirely by surprise, and MCaning gets the win in about 7 minutes there. So yeah, just a really standard little push out here from MCaning. Nice username, not ready for it. Thought for sure they were Disruptors. Tapped the heck out. 3rd base was done. Army supply was 15. These Colossus with their respective 3 and 7 kills respectively. That was really redundant. We'll try to do better next time. And yeah, that's it for game 3 of this short games compilation. We'll be back with more stuff. Maybe it's time for a TVZ. Haven't had one of those yet. Could be a lot of fun. Be right back. It is TVZ time. It's Semper and Bly here on Acropolis. All right, bottom right, it is the Ukrainian Zerg Bly. He's red. Top left, it is the blue Terran Semper, hailing from Canada. All right, Semper Bly. I usually don't do wordplay in my casts, but this is a little bit too hard to pass up. So yeah, Semper Bly. It's just if you don't know what that is, just search Semper Fi and you'll be entertained. All right, here we go. TVZ here, short games from WCS Fall. La 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 la. This is a very standard opening here for both of these players. What happened to cannon rushing? What happened to proxy hatching? What happened to proxy barracksing? I don't know, man. These are the shortest games in the WCS Fall replay pack. So, is cheese out of style? This is a pretty small sample size, though. Okay, keep the faith, Falcon. Keep the faith. Man, seriously, though. Semper's saving up here. Well, saving up here for an expansion. Bly is going 16, 18, 17. All is well in the world with him. Did I forget to turn health bars back on? I certainly did. La 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 la. It's like, why is that extractor not showing us how healthy it is? I don't know. Reaper coming in. Semper sending out an SCV to scout around to see if it was a pool first play, and it was not. And now at this point, another SCV coming in to start the building of the command center. So everything is working out very well here for Semper, the Canadian Terran. As I said, my neighbor to the north. And the Ukrainian here, Bly, just doing all the things that are standard in the world. Sending overlords out, looking for early proxy barracks, anything that would be worrying to him, and definitely there's not. I love this little wolf statue here. That is really cool. I wish I could see what was on the front of it, like if there's an inscription or something. Oh, what's that, though? That's supposed to be a thing. Anyway, it's awesome. That is way cool. I want a wolf dog as a pet. That'd be super cool. Anyway, blocking off the third base here, Bly. Now, here's the thing. Bly is known for his crazy stuff. So if anyone's going to do something insane here, it's going to be Bly in the situation. Drone desperately trying to... No! Not allowed. Engineering bay block over here. And the drone is going to die because... Well, hang on. Can it extract her in time? And it does. That still lost resources for Bly, though. So frustrating. I gotta say, as a Zerg player, that just makes my blood boil. But that's why you should do it. If there's something you can do that can make people hate you, like, honestly, that's what you should be doing. That's how you win games in StarCraft. There's the cancel. Third base comes down at about 240, which is fine. It's honestly later than he wanted it to be, but it's not going to lose the game because of that. Link's checking to see is there a third base. This guy splits off and actually does get a bit of a scout here. At least, I mean, sees the mule coming down, tries to get up the ramp, but no, the walls get lifted. Does end up actually seeing the factory with the reactor, so I mean, he expects Hellions. But now it's good to know there are Hellions. What? Bly didn't take the third, ladies and gentlemen. He faked taking a third base, and he's going for a lair. Oh, yeah, this is what I'm here for. This is why I want to cast these games, is for these shenanigans here that Bly is messing with. He canceled the third. He's taking the lair. Oh, this could be like a speed Baneling all-in style thing with maybe some roach support. Actually, hold on. Is this just a regular old Baneling bus? I don't see a roach warren at all. I don't see a Baneling nest either, to be honest with you. Looking around, the nice thing about Zerg is it has to be on creep. So the Hellions are going to come over and see there's not a third base. This is why you do this as Terran. It's partially to force some lings out from the Zerg so they can't just drone up for the first 10 minutes. Partially it's to scout, and partially it's to try to kill some drones. Killing drones is almost kind of third on this list. Keeping creep from being crazy spread fast too is amazing. Ooh, that's a Spire, boys. That's a Spire coming in. Dude, is Semper not going to scout the third or the lack thereof? Don't lose that Hellion. Ah, he's too busy microing with these lings. Ah, the lings got inside the main base. They're going to kill a Marine before they die. That's annoying, but the worst thing is that he lost that Hellion down this other side. Also, 2 SCVs get killed there at the natural base too. Boy, howdy. And there's your third. Okay, man, this has got to be Mutalisk. This has got to be really fast Muta. He's saturating all of the gases he has access to right now. He's also taking a third behind it. But this is going to be Mutalisks before Semper is ready for it. And I'm kind of all over this build. I need to start doing this on ladder because I love Mutalisks, but man, It feels like the standard timings, everybody knows they're out, and then there's a lot of Widow Mines, and there's Thors, and there's missile turrets, but if you can kind of rush them this way and kind of hope that Semper doesn't check for a third base, which again, he doesn't know anything about the third base. He doesn't know whether there's one there or not. He hasn't scouted it since he was there previously. Why is there not a wall here? Semper, come on, man. Where's your stuff? How are you not walled off at this point? Like, put a barracks in the wall, for heaven's sakes. Oh, this is so bad. Bly is just kind of outclassing Semper here. Losing more SCVs, by golly. 4 SCVs have gone down. 18 Lings have been killed too, which is not good. But losing SCVs is also super bad. So 8 Mute is on the way, and the answer to this is, well, there are no turrets at all, and Semper's army consists of 4 Marines and 3 Hellions. So it's not even lifting well here. Again, all the Marines that die here makes it that much harder for Marines to clean up this Mutalisk stuff, which, here they come, by the way. Mutalisks. Reminds me of one of my first games of Wings of Liberty back in the day, when they had you play on those practice maps that had the big rocks you had to destroy before you could attack, so people kind of took their time. And I would just rush Mutalisks and just fly up to my opponent's base and win. Alright, here we go. This is, I mean, goodbye. You don't have enough Marines. Marines in general are really good in this situation, but not if they are outnumbered by the Mutalisks. If it's a 1-to-1 scenario, it's going to be bad. Tank down, I think Semper's just done. He's trying to get turrets up, but at the very least, the natural base is done for some time. See the 5 Marines? The 5 Marines should not be able to win this, and they are not able to, and that's your good game, Bly. Surprise Mutalisks get the win. Loving that. I really need to find this build. I hope it's on spawningtool.com, because I'm going to start doing it. Because that was awesome. 6.5-minute Mutalisks show up, and suddenly you're like, wait, what? What am I supposed to do with this? Nothing. Honestly, there's not much you can do with that. You got to scout the lack of a third base. You got to scout the Spire, which did he... Man, he never scanned. Never scanned the Spire. The Hellions never got that information out. Does he know that there's a... He doesn't even know that there's a lair. So information is key, ladies and gentlemen. You want to have all the information you possibly can, or you'll end up like poor Semper here. All right. PvZ time? I think it's PvZ time. Stephano, Showtime, PvZ, Triton, the latter edition. Bottom right, red German Protoss, Showtime. Top left, the French Zerg, he's blue, Stephano. All right, anybody could win this because these players are fairly evenly matched. Showtime is better, but Stephano is an incredible Zerg player. And yeah, we will see who comes out on top here. Triton is a snowy map, which... snow is falling right now. It snowed, you guys. It snowed yesterday at my house here in Utah. Let's see. That would be October 19th. October 19th, you guys. It's not even Halloween yet. It all melted off, but man. My kids were excited, but I was not. 16 hatch here from Stephano. Gateway here from Showtime. I'm gonna find a cannon rush for you guys here at the pro level. If I have to go through all of these myself, we will get a cannon rush. All right, alrighty then. Dun 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 dun. Probe scout coming in, seeing what's up. Stephano going for the 17 pool after the 18 gas, etc., etc., etc. Nothing too crazy here from anybody really involved. And on the other side of things is going to be a gateway expand from Showtime. He's safe to do that because the pool is just now getting started. That's what the probe scout is for. I really wish Zergs felt better about drone scouting. I honestly do. But I guess they just feel like they don't have to. So do what you gotta do, friends. Do what you gotta do. Boom. All right. In other news, man, there's a lot of TV right now. For some reason, I was just reminded of Mr. Robot, which is a USA show, which probably the best thing USA has ever done. It is incredible TV. I'm not going to tell you anything about it because there's so much about it that if I said anything, it would spoil things. So check it out. Honestly, it's worth your time. Definitely rated MA. A lot of things that I recommend are, which I realize is kind of weird. I'm pretty family friendly here on the channel, and I'm always recommending stuff like Game of Thrones and you know, The Boys and things which are distinctly not family friendly. My kids have no idea they exist, I think. But that's what I'm into right now. Anyway, also My Hero Academia is back and just remains as wholesome and lovingly as ever. I've also been watching Demon Slayer, which is a really, again, just a fairly wholesome anime about a dude whose family gets eaten by a zombie, and then he decides to kill zombies in retaliation. And it's just like the nicest kid in the entire world turns into this demon slayer. Anywho, it's nice. I like it. I like having people that I can root for in my shows. It makes me feel good about myself. Robotics facility on the way from Showtime. Stephano's third base coming in. It's almost done at the 3-minute mark, which is just really standard stuff. Creep spread from Stephano is historically insane. He has that creep queen out already and in position to throw down a tumor, and there it is. That timing is disgusting from Stephano. Now, what's Showtime up to is the question. He's getting a Warp Prism, which is a little bit scary. When I see Warp Prisms, and there's no double gas. There's no second or third gas, rather third or fourth gas taken here. What's the further tech here, Showtime? You're not going to just go Blink Stalker. That doesn't work against Zerg. Adepts, yes, but Adepts with Resonating Glaives, better. So I'd like to see a Twilight Council here. I'd love to see a Robotics Bay. There are some options available to us. Just not seeing any of them at the moment. So, dang, he's moving out with this Warp Prism. Okay. Fair enough, guy. I mean, all you can really warp in here are regular old Zealots and regular old Stalkers. But, you know, if this turns into basically a 2-base 4-gate style play, and an Immortal. Okay, Immortal makes things a little bit better on the other side. But still not great. I mean, you're going to have Queens and Lings out for Stephano, and Queens and Lings do fantastic against Adepts and fantastic against Immortals for sure. So the Adepts are going to fight here. Warp Prism taking some shots, does not want to die, and gets on out of there. So nothing crazy, man. At this stage, actually canceled a Spore, recognizing it can't be a Stargate because it was a Robotics facility opening, which I really enjoy here out of Stephano. He's going for a Rotorn. He's going for a +1 melee attack, and he's being aggressive. I don't think you go for the Rotorn this early and +1 melee this early unless you're planning on doing something here. So Showtime might need to watch out. I mean, he's being aggressive here too. He's got the Immortal. He's got the Sentries. It's not a huge, big, scary army. He doesn't have charge. He's warping in 3 Stalkers here. Army supply definitely favoring Showtime at 27 and 19. 12 Lings in production. Got Queens ready to go. Rotorn is almost done. That would be useful here, but it's not done yet. And a Spore Crawler up to deal with, I guess, the Warp Prism if it gets too close. But Showtime doing pretty good here. Guardian Shield is up. The Lings are trying to get on top of anything to kill them here, but so far these Protoss units are slow to die. I can tell you that much. That Immortal's got 3 kills already. Zealots in the front. Who needs charge for anything at all? 16 Lings in production, but the Zealot count is high enough. I'm not sure that Lings are going to be enough here. What you needed were Banelings. What you needed were Roaches, which Roaches are in production. Queens are getting focused down. Lings going for the wrapper around. Nice pickup on that Oracle. That Ground Oracle keeping it alive. The Sentry is not dead thanks to the pickup by his friend there. The Zealots going after these Queens, which is so good, and that's your good game. Showtime wins it with a 5.5-minute little 2-base. How many gates? How many gates did he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2-base 8-gate push here, which, boy, what year is it? That is such a Heart of the Swarm thing to do. Except usually they brought Colossus back then, but boy, howdy, that Immortal's got 8 kills. This Warp Prism MVP of the match for sure. Stephano just barely didn't have enough, is what it comes down to. He had droned up a little bit hard. He had 13 workers more than Showtime did at this stage of the game, so he had just droned up a bit more than he needed to. If the +1 melee had been done, that would have been hugely important for this defense, but it wasn't, and Showtime wins with a little fancy 8-gate 2-base timing attack with the Warp Prism. Liking that a lot, actually. That was nice. That was very, very simple and just strong from Showtime. So, cool stuff. Even more on your way for your Sunday series. PVT, Horstem, Dutch, Epic, American, top left, Thunderbird, red Protoss player. Bottom right is Epic, the blue Terran player. All right, man. It's going to be Protoss again versus Terran here. Horstem is a very excellent European Protoss. Epic is an up-and-coming North American Terran player. We will see what cheese there is. All right, man. Hooray! It's going to be proxy something. Dun, 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 dun. It's proxy stuff. It's proxy stuff. Probe moving out. 2's going to catch it. At least try to catch it, and that's the whole idea here, right? You probe scout to see these things, and I again wish Zerg could do it. Because this is going to be so much easier for Horstem to hold, because he's going to come over here and see there's no barracks at home. There's no command center coming up. Something's missing. It's got to be a barracks. That gas is coming in. This feels like maybe some Marauder play to me. Maybe he's building here. He's going to lift and land here. Maybe lift and land there would be really interesting. I love landing barracks inside your opponent's own base. It's happened to me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a good feeling, can tell you that much. The probe says, there is gas. There's not a barracks. There is a second gas coming up. This has got to be Marauder play. I don't know what else to do with all of this gas unless it's just a million Reapers, which would be kind of cool too, to be honest. I guess Reaper would make more sense because they can just kind of come down and hop here, and they're faster and zippier. Anyway, Horstem's not going to expand because he recognizes... Actually, is he just going to... Horstem's seriously just going to be like, it's fine. We'll do the same build. We'll be just all right. Thank you for asking. It is Marauders, though. It is Marauders here. That's definitely a tech lab. Is that another tech lab coming in? By golly, it is. All right, man. So Marauder push. Really scary stuff for Protoss. Like, really scary stuff. We'll see how this works out, though. We'll see how good Epic's control is. Probe's counting down to see if there are barracks down to the south. There are not. Are there any up to the north? Of course there are. And it's concussive shell. Of course it is. So the probe sees it all. He's got to know. Double gas, no barracks to be found. It has got to be Marauders. We'll see how this works out. I honestly, have I ever seen this held? I'm not sure if I've ever seen this held, so I'm curious to see what Horstem does to stop it. Expanding is part of this, apparently. Also getting a shield battery. That seems like a very standard way to hold cheese in general, is having the shield battery. Concussive shell is almost done. Oh, is Epic supply blocked? Epic is a supply block for about 10 seconds there, and then he's not supply blocked anymore. So, that delay, I'm telling you, these little delays can be a problem. The probe trying to see, is there anything up here? No. Where are these barracks, says the probe. Next check. Take a left, guy. Take a left. Taking a left, and he's going to find this. All right. So at least he's going to know it's Marauders at this point. Stalker's not going to help a lot. Immortal's going to do pretty well in this situation. And here goes nothing. Oh, he's using the SCVs to mine through here, too. Oh, that's so good. That's such a smart play. I didn't even think about that. He had the SCVs up here. Might as well use them. So here come 4 Marauders with concussive shell. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's see how this works out. If he catches any of this and slows it... all right, so the probe's getting pulled, pulling the boys here, losing some of the boys here too. That adept getting healed up, but so much damage is pouring in right now. Trying to get a bunker up. That shield battery doing a great job. Honestly, wow, an Immortal does go down. And none of the attacking units have died for Horstem here. That is key to this whole thing. Another shield battery is up, and as soon as he takes a hit, he just pulls back. Takes a hit, pulls back, takes a hit, pulls back. He's got 3 more SCVs up here. He really wants to have a bunker to fall back to. Is he making more Marauders? He's making more Marauders because he's got 4, right, to replace the one that died. Another Marauder goes down, and again, 3 shield batteries. Now the Immortal shows up, and suddenly things are super bad for Epic. Yeah, he's done. He's not getting a bunker up here. This Immortal can single-handedly kill these Marauders, especially with Stalker support. And the range is just so far, and Epic is done. Epic is done. 29 to 19 workers. Sure, some probes died, but that's all good. And yeah, the answer there... Turns out in the end, the answer there was shield batteries. Why not? The answer there was getting an Immortal. And Epic is out. I mean, Epic back home, he's sitting on 1 base. Horstem is happily on 2. Sure, he lost some probes, but he can replace those a lot faster than Epic can replace his SCVs. And the push out from Horstem, I don't know that Epic can hold this. To be honest with you, I'm looking at it, and, well, sure, Cloak, Banshee, not a bad way to hold this attack. In fact, a fantastic way to potentially hold this attack. But you got to wait for Cloak to be done, and that is a long-running upgrade. Widowmine, again, can forestall this a little bit. Epic knows what's coming for him right now. And the thing about Terran is they can do this stuff against Zerg and win games, but against Protoss, they get punished a little bit harder in general here. So he's just going to... Oh, did he try to save that Adept? I think he tried to lift the Adept and didn't do it. So that hurts a little bit, but the Adept wasn't really the problem here. It was the everything else. The Stalkers and the Immortals. Widowmine burrows in, does not burrow in. Banshee trying to kill stuff here. Doesn't have Cloak available. Oh, that would be so amazing if Cloak was done. SCVs are trying to keep this Banshee alive until Cloak completes, but does it really matter at this stage? So many SCVs are going to go down. 2 extra are down here. Where is your Cloak now? They're just killing all the SCVs. Are they gonna? Oh, they're gonna get the Banshee too. The repair's not enough. The Banshee does go down. Cloak was 2 seconds from completing. If Cloak had been done, this would be a much different game. But at the end of the day, oh, that Banshee does pop and does Cloak, but now there's an Observer. Never mind. There was an Observer the whole time, and Horstem gets your win. Epic taps out. Yeah, so the answer was pull some probes in the early stages. You can afford to do so because your opponent's on 1 base. The shield batteries, make sure you never leave their range. If you get hit, pull back to the shield batteries, especially if they have slow. Getting out of there as soon as possible is paramount in importance. So nice job by Horstem showing everybody everywhere how to handle that from somebody as good as Epic is. And everybody you play on ladder is going to be worse than Epic. So this should be helpful to you. Just play as Horstem does. That's all it takes. Good. Really fun stuff. Really, really excellent stuff there. So, all right, let's find that cannon rush. I think it's time. Let's see what we can do. We'll be right back. Back from the group stages of WCS Fall, it's Denver versus Talon here on Ephemeron, the ladder edition. Top left-hand corner, the Frentzerg player Denver. Bottom right, it is the American Protoss player Talon. Or Talden, possibly? I don't actually know. He doesn't have his own Wikipedia page, so I kind of feel like Denver is the favorite here on this match, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, so scouting probe here, threw down a pylon. And we'll see what makes this short. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Hey, that's a forge. All right, man, that's your answer. It's going to be a forge here. Probe's going to come in and get stuff done, man. Overlord coming down to scout the natural. This is the biggest thing you can do as a Zerg player against a Protoss. If you're worried about getting cannon rushed, which I generally always am, is the Overlord scout down here. And you're just like, look, man, if you want to throw down pylons, at least I'll know about it. Oh, he pulled first. Denver. Denver went for the pull first. He expected these shenanigans. And again, you generally can. If you're coming against somebody who is a lot worse than you are, expect shenanigans of some kind. Cannon coming up here, surprisingly enough. That is a weird place for a cannon. And then also a gateway. All right, Talon is throwing the kitchen sink here at Denver. Additional drones coming on down off the line. Really doesn't want this one cannon to finish. 5 drones should be enough to take that sucker down. And actually, he's kind of pulling off a little bit. He wants to make sure this one dies, but at the same time, he wants these ones to go down at the same time. Oh, that one is going to finish. He misapplied. Just counted there a little bit. Did take it down. And now there are 6 lings on the way, and now there's a queen on the way, and the probes are trying to mess with it too. Loving this. The important thing here, though, is that these cannons are really far away. The ling's going to help and just barely take that cannon down, and boom! That's your cannon rush. And Talon is out. Okay. I mean, Denver prepared for that about as well as you can. Went for the pool first, pulled the drones. Honestly, even if this one finishes, so what? I don't know how worried we are about this if for Denver. I might even throw down a hatch anyway at that stage of the game. Because you got lings, man. You got lings. I mean, continued cannon pressure might be a problem from this point. But it would take so long to get over here. I don't know. At the end, Denver knew what he was doing. He understood that he just needed to take down these cannons, make sure none of those got up. This exploding cannon is so pretty. Explosions in StarCraft 2 are just gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. Little piece of it flying up into the air there. Never noticed that before. Look at that. Stupid health bar is kind of in the way. That's your best angle for it, though. All right. Nice. Well, does that count as a cannon rush if it died before 2 minutes? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, this isn't Has we're talking about here, obviously, but okay, more cheese, more short stuff coming your way soon. PvP time here on Acropolis, the ladder edition. Bottom right, blue Protoss player Nixa. I know it says backup N here, but it is the Canadian Protoss player Nixa. And in the top left, once again, it is Horstem. I'm not sure what it is that brings out the cheese on Horstem's opponents, but if you're facing off against somebody who is a lot better than you, cheese is one way to even the score, or even the playing field, so all right, so Nixa apparently is going to go ahead and proxy here because this is not a scouting probe. No way, Jose. Too early and too much here to the left side. All right, proxy pylon going up. Dun, dun, dun. Horstem's like, Don't feel like probe scouting. Think we're good. Think we'll be just fine, thanks. I mean, what helped him survive with that proxy marauder thing really helped him survive was scouting the crap out of what the Terran player was doing, right? So Epic had no hope in hiding what that was for the most part. Sure, it took a while for Horstem to see exactly what it was, but he saw the double gas. I mean, it could be something like a proxy Banshee, something along those lines, maybe some Cyclones, but in the end, it was all pretty much the same defense. The shield batteries, going up for an Immortal, and having Stalkers and Adepts to defend against whatever the heck it was. Just kind of covered his basics. Covered the bases. I'm sure I don't know, darling, so I covered the basics. So you see basics or bases? I don't know. Edna Mode is one of the great characters in all of film, though. I like her quite a bit. Cybercore on the way. Double gateway here too. Horstem's playing really standard. Backup in is not. I mean, alright, so Zealots, interestingly enough. I mean, that's all he can do. He has no gas. He has no cybernetics core. So, Nixa. This is interesting. Like, why not just Cannon Rush? Horstem throws out the good luck. I mean, the thing about the Sentry is it's so good in this situation because it allows you to force field the ramp and then Zealots can't get up. And then you're just one base to one base anyway. I mean, this is such a great choice. This could have been 2 Stalkers. This could have been 2 Adepts. Actually, Adepts would have been pretty fantastic here, too. Good luck, says Nixa. You want a rematch? Interesting choice here. So it's a proxy 4-gate. How weird is this? And then the Zealots just pop on in, and I mean, it is an 18-8 army supply difference, but guess what? Force fields exist. You ready for this? Bonk! Da-da-da-da. I mean, sure, you absolutely can kill this pylon if you want. He just walls off with additional pylons here, so the Zealots are going to have a hard time getting through. Just goes ahead and works on him here with the Sentry and the Stalker. It'll take him a while to kill these guys, but as this keeps going up, as the Stalker count keeps improving, low ground, Stalker doing some work here too. Zealots desperately trying to get through this wall. I mean, they're better at this than Zerglings are, because Zergling can only, like 1 or 2 Zerglings can only hit this, but 2 Zealots can hit this, and that's a lot more attack power than 2 Zerglings has. It's like the power of 8 Zerglings, or 4 Zerglings per Zealot, but wow, Horstem throwing up more and more pylons here. And how many more Zealots are we going to have? Cancels those pylons, throws 1 more up. The surround is great, though, but then the force field goes down. Oh, Horstem. Horstem, you are ridiculous. Horstem, by the way, has his own YouTube channel. You should check it out. Just search Horstem YouTube, and it should pop for you. But he does a good job kind of going through his own replays and seeing how... Charge! Well played! It says Nixa, and Horstem is your winner. But yeah, he did this before. He actually threw up a replay from when Rainer 12 pulled him and how Horstem held it and what decisions go through his head and how he makes choices. And it was actually really good. It was really good to see that kind of thing coming from a professional's perspective. So he does that every once in a while. It's not very frequent, but if he ever has an idea for a replay to analyze, he'll do it. But yeah, in this case, it was just the same thing. Effectively, create a wall, make sure that the Zealots can't really get in here and do much. Keep making Stalkers, keep making Sentries, force field the ramp at will. And Nixa really did not have a chance at that point. I mean, Horstem, the fact that he made an initial Sentry helped a lot. And if you're not going to scout, it makes a lot of sense to make that initial Sentry just for safety, and the safety paid off. The safety paid off. So well done. Well done by Horstem getting the win here against Nixa, going under the alias backup N today. But yeah, let's go ahead and get some more on in here. We have some time left. I think we have some time for a couple more replays. So stick with it. Stick with Falcon Paladin. We'll be right back. Protoss versus Protoss on Thunderbird. Bottom right, the Polish Protoss player Mana. A fan favorite in both StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. He's been around for a long time. Love this dude. Top left, it is the Chinese Protoss player Cyan. Currently playing for Bravestar Gaming. And all right, PvP is going to be another cannon rush. We will have to see. Kind of feel like cannon rushing in PvP is fairly effective. A lot more effective than cannon rushing Terran. Just because, you know, Terran buildings can lift and fly away from your cannons. There is, yep, double gateway here. All right, so fairly standard. No proxies at this stage, unless it's going to be a proxy Stargate or something. So we'll keep an eye on that. Thunderbird is known for its long macro-style games, but that reputation can kind of make people, you know, a little lackadaisical checking for cheese. So there's a lot of cheese on this map too. Reverse psychology. All right, so double gassing it, double gatewaying it. Nothing really interesting going on so far, but hey, have you heard of the Falcon Paladin Hour? It is a weekly podcast with myself and Somicron and Ozzy. We talk about all sorts of stuff. We talk about StarCraft 2. We bet on upcoming events. And the loser has to do stuff like sing Disney princess songs and watch really bad episodes of anime and record their reactions to it. It's an interesting time. I can give you that much. Oh, there's your proxy, though, from Cyan. Is Mana doing this? Both players are proxying in the same neighborhood, and they don't know it. Oh, the symmetry here is amazing. Oh, he saw it, though. Mana's like, wait a second. That's not my pylon at all. What is happening right now? Oh, this is hilarious. How are they both proxying in the exact same location? Robotics facility. Mana's like, we're just going to go with it. This isn't even, there's not even a probe here to build anything. It's just a pylon that Cyan threw up. Why? I mean, Mana is getting the perfect scout of all time here. Double Stalker on the way here from Cyan. Mana's working on Double Stalker himself. I love that he's just going for it. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to take the chance a probe's not going to come back here from Cyan and see what's going on. Is he just throwing up a pylon because this is a fairly standard proxy location and Mana just mind-gamed him and threw it up like, you know, 20 feet away? Is that what we're looking at here? That's further than 20 feet. 50 feet away? I don't know. How much is a foot for a probe? Oh, the Stalker coming around. Didn't see it. Again, it's a hard thing to scout because this doesn't scout it, really, and this low ground won't scout it either. You have to come up the ramp and see it. And he assumes he already scouted this area because he threw up a pylon in this location. Oh, this is such bad luck for Cyan. I don't know what to tell you at this stage. So Stalkers get rid of the pylon, which just tells Cyan, oh, but that's going to draw attention to... Okay, that's interesting stuff. All right. The 4 Stalkers show up here, but you know what? If these two... Why aren't you fighting? Honestly, Cyan should have gone after this this year's shield battery. I would have done that if I was him. That was strange. All right, well, he had numbers. He decided to pull back anyway here. He recognized that as a robotics facility, making an immortal. Nothing else it really could be at this stage. A Colossus would not be very good. An immortal is worth its weight in gold versus all of these Stalkers that Cyan has. So that's absolutely incredible. Is Cyan planning another proxy up in that top right? Please make another proxy. Make this the proxy game of proxy games. I would appreciate it immensely. There's an observer here too. Recognizing expansion is being taken. Mana is interested in no such thing as expansions. But definitely Warp Prism, yes. A Robotics Bay, yes. So maybe Colossus and maybe Disruptors. Oh, Disruptors would be so good as the follow-up here too, but it just takes forever to build things in the robotics facility because good things come out of it. So it's fair, it should take a long time to build. And it is a Disruptor, so it's an Immortal and a Disruptor. Warp Prism with a couple of depths for some harassment, and I think the rest of the army is going to push the front here and see what he can do. Oh, hang on. Mana going to lose his Observer. That's not good news for him at all. And an Immortal is out here for Cyan, too. So, I don't know. Cyan might be able to hold this, honestly. The Adepts just wander in. Great reaction time from Cyan. Holy crap. He got out of there really well. And then just escapes. And Cyan doesn't overreact. Doesn't send his whole army up to the main base. Just a handful of Stalkers. He's going to try to take down that Warp Prism. But Warp Prism can get out of there because, again, it is a flying unit. All right, Stargate on the way from Cyan. His expansion is going to be really important if he can hold on to this. Again, this is like Horstem, right? Did he just snipe down the sentries? I think he just sniped down a couple sentries with that. He did with those Adepts. That was a really nice attack. All right, so Mortal defending here. Army supply a little bit up for Mana, but honestly not huge. If he can take down that Immortal that Cyan has, that's a big deal. Nova doesn't get anything done. Nice save there by Cyan. Fantastic save, honestly. Immortal trying to keep it alive here, but suddenly way outnumbered. Natural base in a lot of trouble here. 26 to 13 army supply. Cyan's production tab is empty right now, which is not a good sign for him. You don't want to have an empty production tab when you're going against somebody as good as Mana is. The juggling is actually pretty fantastic here. out of Cyan. If he could unload maybe in range, there you go. He unloads in range of the shield battery, gets healed up a little bit. He's trying to save the natural base, but that is not really a priority here at all. What he needs to do is get up enough army to win this thing, but by golly, this Immortal with 3 kills already. Nova coming up the ramp to clear things out. See if we can wander up here. We certainly can. Nova, boom! I think that was actually friendly fire, unfortunately, on one of his own units. This juggling for Cyan is incredible. But I don't know. Actually, lifting up Mana's Immortal is a pretty big deal here. Shield batteries healing up defensively. Cyan's Immortal has 2 kills already. Did he lose his other one already? It seems like he probably did. That one taking serious shots here as well, lifting up. Mana's Immortal did not actually kill it in the long run, and that's your good game. Mana is your winner in 6 minutes there. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Well done. Well done indeed for Mana, the Polish Protoss, getting the victory there. Really interesting, unorthodox style there, too, with the Immortal, but also with a couple disruptors that didn't do a whole lot, right? I really think one of these kills was friendly fire from Mana's disruptor. So, yeah, but end of the day, it was just a 1-basing Protoss versus it attempting to 2-base Protoss. And, I mean, Mana's Immortal did so much work in this game. Look at this. We're going to see 3 kills, tons of damage done, though, especially on enemy Immortals, which is really important stuff. And Mana is your victor. Okay, I think we're going to end with one more game. I just feel like we need a little bit more Zerg in this. Had a lot of PvP, a lot of PvT stuff, and only a little bit of Zerg. So, more Zerg would be nice. We're going to finish it off with one of those. Don't go anywhere. It's SortOf. It's uThermal. It's Triton. Top left, red Zerg player, SortOf. Bottom right, blue Terran player, uThermal. All right, man. 2 excellent players here. Players you've seen on the channel and seen on the channel for very, very many years. And yeah, kind of expecting, let's see, uThermal to be the cheeser, but SortOf is capable of it as well. So once again, SortOf is from Sweden. uThermal is Dutch. Oh, I'm saying that. My brain's like, really? Is it, Falcon? It's late. Your brain isn't super fantastic when it is 1 in the morning. Fair point. Fair point. Let's see if we can find uThermal, and he is from the Netherlands. He's Dutch. Perfect. We did it. We did it, Reddit. Okay. What are we doing? Hatch first in it here is SortOf uThermal going for the racks at home. So again, nothing crazy. No proxies, no cannon rushing, because neither of these players are Protoss. Right? Right. They're not. Okay. Fantastic. Hey, do you know there's Falcon Paladin merch? Just go to falconpaladin.store. I don't know how Somicron set up a .store address, but it's pretty fancy. But yeah, falconpaladin.store coming at you. You can see things like hoodies and shirts and hats and weird Christmas sweater t-shirts, which I'll let you decide what that one's all about by clicking on the link and figuring it out. It's the most colorful option in the store. So if you want to check those things out, falconpaladin.store. It does this weird thing where what it shows you is like the suggested stuff, but it doesn't show you everything. You have to click on all before it shows you the whole thing and everything that's available. I don't know why. It's strange. We should probably get that fixed. Reaper on the way from uThermal. 1 Rax expanding it like a boss. Spawning pool on the way. Another hatch there. Etc. 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 And nothing too crazy from SortOf at all. This is the most standard opening you'll ever see in a game of StarCraft. Bar none. It does not get more standard than this. SortOf. Now at this point, Zerg has a bit of an option. You go for a quick third base. You want to make sure your queens are out and your speed gets started first. Okay, SortOf's doing that. And now he'll take his third as well as he can. So again, what you want to do here with the Reaper is harass a little bit. Maybe try to kill a drone or 2. KD8 charge is dodged ably by the drone, but all the lings take a hit. That's okay. They can afford to take a hit of that KD8 charge, no problem. Ooh, forcing 2 drones to go into buildings. That is bad. That's real bad for SortOf. Not the kind of start you want there. Also, still not a third base here, which the Reaper should be able to figure out. He doesn't see a third base here. He's not going to see a third base there either. SortOf isn't, I was going to say, wasn't even trying, really. At this stage, oh, he can't. He can't. Just take this one, man. Just do it. I know this one's a little bit more convenient, but the delay is going to be huge. You're not going to start your third base until after the 3-minute mark. It's already after the 3-minute mark here. You could have had it done already, man. So, all right. So the lings are here. The drone is going to toss it down. The Reaper decides to get on out. He tried to get the block. Couldn't quite do it. And the slowlings and the queens are enough to make sure that third base goes down. But again, it is late. What is SortOf doing? If he's going for like a quick lair or extra gas here, I can understand it. But looks pretty standard. Nubitized Carapace on the way, because again, that's pretty standard as well. Making sure he knows what's going on with fast overlords is everything a Zerg player should do, because they don't drone scout, so might as well overlord scout later on. Get that second degree of information anyway. So it is going to be a starport here from uThermal. Probably going to be a Viking or a Liberator, based on the lack of add-ons available for it. Or maybe we're waiting for the reactor, and we're going to start some medevac production. We will see. That's a third base, though, which, by the way, is scouted. It's a pretty greedy play from uThermal here on Triton to go for that third command center at this stage of the game, and we'll see if SortOf has any kind of answers for it or not. Creep spreading out to the edge of his own main base, which I really should do more often, but there are so many things to remember in StarCraft, you guys. So many things to remember. Reaper cruising on in is going to take down a tumor. That's pretty good. That wasn't canceled by SortOf. That just died. It's going to be replaced by the 2 creep queens that exist, though having a lot of queens is really something you should be doing in every game of StarCraft 2 anyway. They're great for base defense, especially against air units. Creep spread is really important, and injects. If you have a lot of queens, your inject counts are going to be through the roof. Got some lings cruising on the right side, trying to see if they can maybe harass potential third base location. That's not even a third base location. You guys are going to be banelings or what? What are we working on? There's a lair from SortOf, and still hasn't taken extra gas, and still hasn't gone for a roach warren or a baneling nest or anything. So this feels pretty macro-y out of SortOf here. If you're scouting this from uThermal, I'm not sure what you're supposed to take from it. Well, uThermal, what he takes from it, though, is he's making a battle cruiser. Where? Oh, the fusion core is in the natural base. I missed that. Battle cruiser on the way. Secondary battle cruiser rush here. Spore crawlers on the way, because he recognizes the starport was building something with that tech lab, and you're going to want detection and anti-air sooner or rather than later. Third base, not bothering with the spores. Who needs that sissy stuff? The natural base is where the attacks will come. Holy Nidus! Oh, all right. That's another option, I guess. If you go for the lair and you don't have a roach warren or a baneling nest, Ling Queen Nidus should do just fine for you in all realities. What are these lings doing? I think they're trying to catch a drop, possibly. Swinging all down this way. Maybe trying to get in through the front door while Nidus pops into the main here. There's not really a great place for it, I'm not going to lie. uThermal has pretty good vision everywhere. This might work, but I don't think so. Especially once that factory dies. Jump! We've jumped. He's jumped here? Whoa! He just threw in the Nidus right up in front of everybody. So here come the Hellions, and here's the battle cruiser. Ling's actually trying to take down these Hellions. Doing a pretty good job of it. A couple of them do end up going down there, but by golly, how much stuff's in this Nidus? We've erupted. The queens are present. Are we going to base race with queens and lings versus this battle cruiser? This is a ridiculous proposition. I mean, the lings are fantastic at killing SCVs. I'm not going to argue that. But now the queens pop out of the Nidus. Instant transportation is so nice, isn't it, battle cruiser? So many drones going down, though. This is a really fun game to end on. The insanity is real. Right now, lings and queens inside the natural base. uThermal is in a heap and help of trouble right now. I don't know what he can do about this. He's making another battle cruiser, but they take approximately forever to come up. Both players have lost so many workers, but uThermal is down to 13 SCVs, which is bad. Tanks are out. Lings interested in taking down those tanks, if at all possible. Hellbat trying to save the day. Queens are trying to kill this battle cruiser as well as they can while transfusing and supporting each other from a distance. Tanks down. The Lings actually taking the tanks down. Hellbat getting revenge with 10 kills on that Hellbat. Not too bad. Battle cruiser number 1 comes all the way home. But I mean, what are we looking at? It's 12 workers for uThermal. I'm not even sure where they are right now. Where does he have 12 SCVs? I don't see them. Are they hiding? They must be hiding somewhere. But the battle cruiser is doing a great job in battle base defense. But at the end of the day, your production facilities are going down. Your income is approximately 0. It is literally 0. Oh, here are the SCVs. They were, I guess, back in that very corner. They're doing a good job hiding, I gotta say. Down to 8 SCVs, down to 7 SCVs. The battle cruisers can't really engage here because of all the queens that exist. They're trying to repair. Another jumping, another base racing, but no, SortOf gets the win in the cheese versus cheese play. I don't know. Is a battle cruiser rush at 5 minutes cheese or just standard play these days? Either way, the Ling Queen Nidus stuff is definitely cheese, and if you have enough queens, you can handle battle cruisers while you're at it. Not bad. Really entertaining stuff there. At the end of the day, 3,900 resources lost for SortOf and 6,400 lost for uThermal. Didn't lose any of his battle cruisers, which is nice, but again, 3 tanks, 47 SCVs, 14 Hellions and 5 Hellbats. The Hellbats almost saved the day here, but the queen count was always way too high. 3 kills, 3 kills, 3 kills, 1 kill, 3 kills, 7 kills on that one. The Lings, ton of Zerglings died. 87 Zerglings went down, but they paid for themselves without question. So good stuff. Good stuff by SortOf getting the win. And you know what? That's going to be it from me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Sunday series of short games. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.